everyone and welcome to my channel. Recently I did a video all about brands I would like to try in 2021, and I'm going to counteract it by giving you a list of 10 brands that I want to avoid in 2021 as well. So some of these brands are brands that I'm simply just going to avoid because I bought too much from last year that I felt like they prevented me from experimenting, and the others are going to be brands that I'm just not finding to be of any interest to me. It could be that their products don't just cater to my liking, it could be that they're boring to me, it could be that I'm not very okay with their practices, and it could be just brands that I'm just not attracted to how they market themselves online. Any of those reasons are reasons that can pull anyone away from wanting to try or buy from a certain brand, and these are brands that have one of these elements going against them that prevents me from becoming or continuing to be their customer. So the first 5 are brands that have prevented me from experimenting more in 2020, and these are the brands that I'm going to avoid at all costs in 2021. The first one being Jade Cosmetics. Last year and the year before that I went Jade crazy. I bought every single product pretty much that Jade could ever sell. I have bronzers, foundations, concealers, everything you can think of, like highlighters, eyeshadows, eyeshadow primers, mascara primers, every possible thing that you can imagine having, like from a makeup brand, I have from Jade. I am able to film a full face of Jade easily. I have everything from this brand that there's really no need for me to be acquiring any more Jade products this year. If I felt the need to use Jade, I could do that by using the products that I already have. And if I run out of something that I really love, I will allow for myself to buy from there, because they have my go-to like primer, and they also have my go-to mascara. I would buy them, obviously, but I'm not going to experiment with new things from Jade. I'm not going to make experimenting from Jade a priority when I haven't experimented with so many other brands. I'm going to leave their new products for a later year once I give other brands a chance as well. Next is another brand that fits in the same category as Jade, and it is Janna Provis. Janna Provis is a brand by an influencer, a local influencer here. Her name is Janna. She has a brand called Janna Beauty, and her products have consistently lived up to my expectations. I have loved everything, basically, that she has come up with. I love her brushes, I love her bronzers, her highlighters, I love everything that she has, but I don't love them equally. And trying a brand like Janna Provis that is not necessarily cheap. Janna Provis is not a cheap makeup brand. It's not luxury by any means, but it's not a cheap makeup brand. So trying a brand and spending all of that money in one spot is going to take up too much of my budget, and I can't be spending too much money on makeup, especially when we're still locked down and unable to enjoy our makeup. I'm going to leave Janna and her releases for an entire year, come back and really pick what I've missed and wanted to try a year later. Alright, next is Pupa. Pupa is one of my go-to brands, and whenever I go to the super farm, I buy Pupa simply because I'm at the super farm and I'm like wondering what else they have, because I really like the brand. I like especially their blushes. I really love their lip liners too. Those two things are some of my go-to products when it comes to buying from Pupa. And I think that I should stop, because I have like 10 lip liners from Pupa and maybe like 3 blushes from Pupa, and I need to experiment with other brands. Having all of these lip liners from the same brand prevents me from trying other lip liners. If I have one red lip liner, there's no need for me to have 5 more, simply because I already have what I need, and I'm not somebody who wears lip liner or red lipstick very regularly. You're seeing me today in a red lipstick, and that's like an odd occasion. So that's for me one of the reasons why I need to cut down on my Pupa consumption and focus on other brands, give them a shot, try out their products. Next is Kiko. Kiko Milano opened up a few branches relatively recently here in Israel, and I got excited and I tried quite a few of their products, and for the most part they are decent. You know, they're okay. Nothing crazy incredible that I cannot live without, but overall an okay brand with okay products. But I bought a lot of products from Kiko and I don't use nearly a quarter of them. I don't use Kiko products that much, and it basically ended up being a huge waste of my money because I don't think I'm attracted to their special releases, like their Christmas releases, their special like collection releases. I'm just not very attracted to them, and their permanent products are not very attractive. What can I say? Like, it's just a brand that comes up with products that are really well performing in bland packaging and bland marketing. They could pump up the volume a little bit. They could do something to change how I feel about them, but they're not really doing it. The quality is kind of there, but it's just boring. It bores me. Next is a brand that simply releases too damn much, and I believe that by saying this you already know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna give you a second to tell me what it is. Yeah, you're right, it's Colourpop. No, I'm not buying from Colourpop. I did quit Colourpop for 15 months, and then I made one purchase, and I'm going to stop buying from Colourpop again for the entirety of 2021. Not a single Colourpop purchase, although they did come up with like those 5 pans eyeshadows, and I was like, oh, should I or should I not? Because I trust that Colourpop eyeshadows are generally really good, and they kind of remind me of Natasha Denona a little bit, like with the layout and the color story, and just simply the fact that they're all 5. It's kind of Natasha Denona, and I'm like, is Colourpop trying to dupe anyone when they're releasing this, or am I just like too in my head? I don't know. I'm just not going to buy anything from Colourpop. They release too much, and their fast fashion motto is disgusting to me. I'm not complaining about fast fashion, fast clothing, fashion, accessories, and that it's bad for the environment and bad for the consumers. And now they're saying, well, yeah, I know that fast fashion is horrible, but where they make a fast fashion, it's great, it's fun and whatever. No, it's not. No, it's not. It basically, when you release too much, it makes every release subpar, because you're like, okay, well, first of all, you've created something very similar to this just last week. Isn't it the same? Second of all, it becomes exhausting for the consumer. Like, nobody has an infinite amount of money to spend on Colourpop. I don't think, at least. Like, it's ridiculous. And no one needs to buy eyeshadow palettes every week. That is ridiculous. Like, there are how many weeks a year? Like 42 weeks a year or something like that. And they're going to be coming up with stupid products like this. No, I'm so sorry. Like, it doesn't make sense. Absolutely. So the next 5, 6 are going to be brands that I'm not very experienced with, and I don't really care about it. The first one being Too Faced. I like Too Faced concealer. Their concealer is really good. First of all, none of the retailers or Too Faced sell directly, ship directly to Israel. And I have no idea why, because come on, like, everything ships to everywhere nowadays. Like, there should be no restrictions, but Too Faced seems to be against shipping here. No idea why, but it is what it is. So that's one reason why I'm not going to buy there, because if I'm going to buy something from Too Faced, I'm going to want to buy more than one item in order to have it be worth shipping through a shipping medium. So that's the first reason. Second reason is Too Faced is one of those brands that have really ugly packaging to me. I know that people go crazy for it. It repulses me. It looks stupid and too juvenile, and I'm not about that life. I mean, if I can show you one of my favorite packaging, I would imagine that it would look something like this. This is pristine, gorgeous, fantastic, weighty, looks mature, looks like something I would want to use and I would want even display on my vanity table, but not a Too Faced palette and a heart-shaped anything. No thank you. I'm 30. I don't get excited over packaging. I get excited over performance. I get excited when a package looks functional and easy to store, not when it looks this juvenile and chunky and just stupid. No, I can't do it. Tarte is another one. I don't think that Tarte has come up with anything in ages. The last big color Tarte hit was probably the Shape Tape concealer, and then they died. Like, what is up, Tarte? Do you need someone to revamp you? Do you need to be resurrected from wherever you are, from whatever coffin you're locked up in? Because I'm forgetting about Tarte, and I have no interest in buying from them. I think I'm not going to make a single purchase throughout the entire 2021. Not a single purchase from Tarte. When I was making this list and looking at brands that I have in my collection, I noticed and I remembered that I used to really enjoy Shape Tape, and I looked and I tried to remember even which brand it was from, and it was Tarte, and I was like, Tarte who? Tarte what? Tarte where? Where is Tarte? Tarte is nowhere. That's my conclusion. Next is KVD, Kindness, Vengeance, the Divorce. Okay, so let's change the K into something horrible. Okay, killing vegan dinosaurs. Dinosaurs. Anyways, so I don't know, like I feel like the appeal that KVD had was back when the devil was still running it, because that devil had good style. Now KVD is trying to maintain the essence that they used to have, but without being tied to the devil herself, and it's just not working out for me. The releases, they might be good quality, but they're like, I don't know, like when I think of KVD, that's not what I think of. I mean, a primer, a clear primer, or like a liquid primer from KVD, why? What? Well, I mean, like, no, that's just not, that's not what I want from KVD at all. I want something edgy, I want something kind of grungy and dark and almost emo. Not that I am emo, but I mean, that's what I expect from a brand like KVD. Next is Huda Beauty. I have one item from Huda Beauty, and I have never been interested in getting anything else. Never. I only have the new nude palette, and I mean, how many palettes do they have now? They have probably like tens of palettes. Each season she comes up with those like 3, 4, 9 pans. They all look the same. They all perform similarly, and sometimes there's like discrepancy with formulas and things like that. Not discrepancy, that's not the word I'm looking for. Sometimes there's inconsistency with the formulas. So I don't know, it's just, first of all, the palettes look redundant, everything looks redundant. The complexion products are really heavily perfumed, really heavily scented, really heavily scented. I was combining really and heavily, so revelly. So yeah, it's just like, I'm not interested. No thank you, Huda. Try something different, try something new, because I'm tired of those 9 pans, and I'm over all of her bigger palettes. They all look the same to me, like Desert something, and there's another one that is like relatively early, are all very redundant. Something Mercury is interesting, but nothing that I would wear, nothing that I would want to wear. I only like new nude, and it's not new anymore, let me tell you that. Lastly, I have 2 brands in one. I have Jeffree Star, And I have, okay, so I'm gonna tell you what I wrote. The egg influencer brand. And then I remembered that it's called Dragon Beauty. And I think her name is Nikki Beauty or something like that. She's repulsive to me. I'm sorry about being this intense, but her and Jeffree Star are both people that I don't even like to watch. They gross me out. Seeing them on my screen is a sight that I don't want to see. I don't like their personas. I don't like what they stand for. I don't like their practices. I don't like anything about them. And their brands seem really redundant to me. The only time, there were 2 incidents when I wanted to get things from Jeffree with the gray to silver palette. I thought that it was really, really lovely, but nothing that I would want to buy from a monster like Jeffree. And the red palette comes in like the coffin shaped packaging. That was also really pretty, but again, I don't want to buy anything from a monster. I'm against it. So I didn't buy anything from them. And do I regret it today? Absolutely not. I think I made the right decision. And that egg-shaped brand, I mean, it's so stupid. And those color correctors, I mean, all I have to say is go watch, what's his name? Robert Welsh or James Welsh? One of the two. Because one of them is the skincare guy and one of them is the makeup guy. Watch the makeup guy because you need to watch him. He will change how you apply your makeup in a few ways at least. Especially if you bake. I hate baking too, so I support him. And especially if you don't apply eyeshadow primer, if you apply your concealer, apply that primer. It's better. It's just better. So yeah, these are the 11 brands that I'm just not going to even consider purchasing anything from for the entire year and much longer, especially for Jeffree and the egg brand, influencer brand situation. Dragon Booty. I'm pretty sure that a Dragon Booty is more interesting than Dragon Beauty. That's all I have to say. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I would love to know what brands you are not even going to check out. You're not here for it in 2021. What brands are they? And that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment, and I'll see you very, very soon in the next one.